Yeah, I mean, I think there are a lot of stories. You know, I mean, there are so many stories. And you know, the next few years is an interesting time for me because you're kind of at that sort of stage where you can choose which projects to do and which ones you don't, and you also, you know, can take some time off and all that sort of stuff. So certainly there are a lot of projects I'm really passionate about, and in the near future, I've been asked to go and work on a film in Vietnam. They've sort of asked for the last few years, so that might be the next potential one on the cards, and which I would love to do, which I'd absolutely. We did some filming in Vietnam for Better Man a few years ago, and that was an extraordinary experience. Being able to direct in both Vietnamese and English is great, and you can hear all the gossip, you know, understand it all, you know, which is fantastic. So yeah, lots of stories, but certainly that will be something which would be close to my heart. Yeah. So what are the main differences? Yeah. I think I mean, certainly, you know, when you're working on a much bigger production, then it's a lot less flexible. You know, I mean, when I was working on the smaller community projects, then certainly you can adapt and change, and okay, this location's not available, you go to that one straight away. I mean, with the bigger ones, and everything has to be locked in, you know, 2 weeks in advance, and you can't change anything at all, which some ways is really tough. It's really tough because you know, as a creative, often you want to make as many changes as possible, but because the budgets for TV and film are limited here in this country, you know, we can't just suddenly change everything and reshoot half of it, you know, so everything is locked in early. So I found that as being probably the biggest difference. But in terms of working with the cast and everything, I love working with first-time actors and those who you know, come with life experience. You know, they just sort of bring a beauty to the performances that you can't get from a lot of trained actors, no matter how hard you work on them. Yeah. Yeah, in terms of on the board, you mean, or yeah? So I'd known Tony Burke for quite a long time, and since sort of my Young Australian of the Year days, and last year I got a phone call from Tony just saying, you know, Choir, you know, there's this new board that's you know, that he's putting together, you know, for the Australia Council, and would I consider you know, being on this board, and so I met up with Tony.